I went to Zookeeper.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done a podcast there. I've done a podcast at Link Up.
Yes.
That
That
container stuff. Yeah,
More,
that was
yeah,
dope. So
100%.
yeah, I think Morton Park. I'll
Alright.
say those. This is the third business.
And how's this going?
It's coming alright, bro.
Yes, what's up?
Ah,
Hey,
that's alright. I even
it's in your belly. You know when someone speaks from their belly. That's when
No,
you
I'm
know
passionate about it.
it's
Let me
real.
tell you, bro. When it comes
It's
to podcasts,
real, yeah.
right now it's saturated, right? Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to have a podcast before people knew what is a podcast.
Yeah.
I used to be addicted to it. I think 10 years ago, if not 15 years ago, I told myself, you know what,
100%.
I'm going to have a podcast one day. Yo, before I noticed it, everybody was like, how? Why is Ankatala and stuff like that? So that's what I listen to most of the time. I hardly listen to
Nice.
music. As much as I love music, I do music.
Yeah.
But I listen to podcasts all day long. Then I listen to people talking, get I wish I was there. They're talking
Yeah.
nonsense. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Wow, okay, let's start our own thing." So
100%.
conversation is something I love, bro.
That's what's up. I can tell. So
Yeah.
you're more into the mind of people. You want to be in people's minds.
Definitely,
You want to
because
know
I
what
started.
people are thinking.
Yeah. Well, it started with personal development. Like, I've never read any book in my life. I used to hate books. Né? By the time I started reading The Power of the Mind,
Yeah.
I
About their mind.
also read The Secrets. Why do I like this? I noticed that I like
Yeah.
books that has to do with improving your life, that has to do
Practical
with...
books.
Yeah, exactly. Then I
And-
was like, okay, I love this. So then I became addicted to that.
Yeah.
I don't know, since I'm reading too much of this, I'm listening to too much of this,
Yeah.
why don't I talk about it?
Power of the subconscious mind, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Power of
that's
the yeah.
that's my favorite.
Somebody who's good at subconscious game and Pop Proctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been grand.
Do you have more books of that?
Yeah, Pop Proctor. Yeah, I do. Definitely.
What
Of the subconscious
are they?
mind.
Physical or are they PDFs?
I have physical and PDFs. I wonder if you come to my place, you'll see these books everywhere.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's
I
up.
highly
Hey, that's
appreciate
proper. That's such a nice skill. Reading is a skill.
Yeah,
actually.
reading is a skill, man.
So that's a nice skill to have and sharpen, actually.
But I have to
100%.
get into fiction. You know what I mean? I'm very bad when it comes to storytelling. I like
fiction. What type? Like Twilight.
Yeah, this is like I can't tell a story. Nje. I think that's why I hate movies even.
Yeah.
I'm that person who be like, hey, if it's against manje.
Yeah, I'm not a
I'm
Twilight
lost.
person. Also, I'm not a fiction person. I wouldn't
Exactly.
read a fiction book. No. Nah.
Great,
yeah.
man. But I'm very fascinated about this business, bro.
100%. G.
Yeah.
100%.
But I want to start. Is this the first business that you have started ever in your life?
No.
Okay.
No.
What other business have you started? Because that's one thing I've noticed about every entrepreneur.
Sure.
Or actually, there's other businesses that kind of like failed.
Yes.
Or besides even failing, it's more of, okay, I lost passion, but I started
100%.
something else.
All
Have you
right.
gotten any history of
Yeah,
businesses that they've
yeah.
started? With you, get the things out there.
So basically, I'm Gift Mokoena, by the way.
Oh, give me question. Sure, sure.
Gift Mokoena, born and bred in Dawn Park.
Okay.
The East Rand, Boksburg. And I'm an entrepreneur at heart, G. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I was raised within entrepreneurship. You know,
What do you mean your parents were entrepreneurs?
yes,
Okay.
very much so. Besides my parents being entrepreneurs, like I remember my first childhood memories is witnessing my sister packing maskopas, lima chips, you know, making the ice out of like Sigzo. There was this juice called Sigzo. And would make ice and would sell that to people. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the interaction of business that I was exposed to at the age of 4.
Wow.
You know, I knew that if you sell maskopas, you'll get 2 rand or 5 rand.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so that was my first exposure at that tender age. And then later on, we actually did have a shop at home, like an actual spaza shop, you know. Had a spaza shop at home, and I was kind of like functioning there, selling there. This
At
is
what
now
age was
at the
that?
age of 13. Like I'm in,
Oh, you are those boys who were selling that and
yeah,
stuff, yeah.
like I'm in grade 6, 7, you know.
Yeah.
Age of 13.
That was before Masumalian took over, no?
No, this was way before my Somalians.
Is it?
Way
Yeah.
before my Somalians, you know, when the spaza shop industry was actually really ripe, you know.
Clean.
So, yeah, this was me then. And then I started then my own thing officially when I was in second year.
Okay.
So second year, I'm studying media. I'm studying media, film and television.
Nice.
And
I think
I'm
that's
now
why you linked up with my sister.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm now in the film and television industry,
Yeah.
and I'm with creatives around me.
Hold up. Were you studying that?
Yes, I was
Oh.
studying film and television at AVDA. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm in Auckland Park at the time.
Yeah.
You know, the hub of creativity.
Yeah.
I'm with other creatives from ASC. I was inspired by a friend of mine at the time by the name of Lindo. So Lindo he was a student, a ASC student, you know. So he actually was doing sound engineering, and he had a partnership with this guy by the name of Steve.
Okay.
And they had a television show called Campus Vibes. So they had already started shooting this television show called Campus Vibes, and you know, it was active on Soweto TV. It had a bit of airtime, but now that partnership with them didn't materialize, didn't transpire further. Like it didn't. Yeah, like it fell through. But Lindo now had this concept.
Okay.
So Lindo now meets up with me and is like, Gift, I have this concept and I'd like for us to do something about it. And this is where the first company starts, called Wire Productions. So this was my first registered company, Wire Productions. And what Wire Productions was, we were a youth entertainment company. So we were like producing youth entertainment television. We were producing for like music as well, because I had Lindo who was studying music. So we actually had musicians, upcoming musicians, which we were like signing, or which we were managing within Wire. So that was the first business. And that business fell through because of Mabala Noise, or not because of Mabala Noise, but I'll say that my boy Lindo got an opportunity to now work with Mabala Noise. And now he's now fully focused in Mabala Noise, and I'm now left with Wire. And Wire then fell apart like that. Yeah, really two fella. It was just me and Lindo who were running the company, but we had a team. We had a team of people. We had artists, you know, we had a camera crew, producers. We actually had a working machine, just that it wasn't a financially working machine. We just had the passion. So those people were
kind of like volunteering.
We just had the passion. We had the passion, and people were actually just pushing.
Nice.
So this was my first company. Fast forward a year later, I joined another company. This was not my own, by the name of Levitate. Similar concept, more on the commercial side of things. A friend of mine by the name of Kimo had opened this. It was for advertising. It was an advertising company. So fine, Levitate then also fell through. And then I opened last 3 years ago, 2022, I opened another production company called Don Moji Productions. So Don Moji Productions was a current affairs and a lifestyle company. So I wanted to shoot current affairs content and lifestyle content, because I felt like there were no, like, if I wanted to find out who is Petrus Motsepe and how did Petrus Motsepe become Africa's pioneer or biggest entrepreneur, I found that the content was not South African produced. I will listen to a Chinese guy telling me about Petrus Motsepe.
Yeah, true.
You know,
and we don't have our own stories.
Yeah, I found that very confusing or very disheartening, because I'm a creative. So I was like, no, let me actually produce content myself. So unfortunately, that also did not monetize. It was basically something that I was doing to, what can I say? Not sharpen my skill alone, but build a portfolio. This is now content I can later on use as I'm pitching.
This is what I've done.
Yes, this is what I've done. This is my, my pitch. And that was Don Moji Entertainment. And then fast forward to today. Fast forward to this year.
Were you smoking weed the whole time? Sorry.
Yes.
At the time, okay.
Yes, I was smoking weed the whole time. Like I started smoking weed at a very tender age.
Okay, cool.
Both fortunate and unfortunate, obviously. Started smoking weed at like the age of 13 or 14. I don't encourage that to anyone. But I was exposed to the substance by then. So then, actually, before that, in 2022, while I was shooting for Don Moji, the lifestyle show called SA Flavors, South African Flavors, as well as a documentary called Through the Eyes of Mandela's Youth. I then developed an interest in the Uber business. So I started then working in Uber. I started an Uber business. So now I became an Uber driver. Yes, I became an Uber driver for myself. I started being an Uber driver for myself. And meantime, I'm busy working. I'm a freelancer. I'm a visual technician by profession. After graduating, I was a visual technician. So now I'm an Uber driver. So I needed to monetize this thing,
Nice.
So I started now doing Uber full force. 2 years later, I got my first fleet. I got 2 cars in the business.
Wow.
And then fast forward to today, now I had always had this passion of marijuana.
No.
You know, this is not something that I started only this year. You know, there was a point in time in 2017 when I was informally selling. And I was actually caught by law enforcement.
Campus?
Nah, like in my private residential area.
Okay.
Yeah, in my private residential area, I was already selling marijuana. I had a spaza shop, that same setup that that my sister initially had when I was 4. Selling amachipsi, you know,
When
my
it was
sweetie.
marijuana.
But now there's also marijuana.
Oh, you're also
involved.
selling that, but
This is
marijuana
now
hide. Okay,
this
I
is
see.
now after graduating.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
now like I'm freelancing and I'm now like pushing a young tuck shop nyana and selling marijuana on the side as well, you know. So law enforcement caught me and it didn't end well. Luckily it was just one of those like, you're too young for this, stop what you're doing, and it ended off like that. Of course they did.
Okay.
Of course, that was what
Yeah.
the thing was about, you know.
Okay, cool.
But then at the end of the day, I thank God that I was well preserved, you know.
Yeah.
They saw that my future is too bright for me to be having any type of criminalization and so forth.
Yeah.
So I wasn't criminalized for it.
Nice.
And then this is where now the marijuana industry starts picking up in South Africa. Literally 2018, 2019, we start hearing that, okay, marijuana is now getting legal. It's no longer illegal to smoke weed. It's no longer illegal to carry weed. Because we used to be harassed, man, for having like a gram of weed.
Tell me about it. I have a friend who was in jail for that, bro. What do you mean?
You know.
Imagine just for having weed on him and stuff like that. So
We used to
it
be
was one of
harassed.
those days.
Yeah, man. So marijuana started being accepted in society. It started being commercialized.
Yeah.
Now you start finding that fast forward to about 2022, 2023, you find that there's an actual cannabis store. You can walk in and find any cannabis product in there, and good product, let me tell you that. So I was one of those people.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed that in my area there was no good product.
Oh yeah, those kinds. Those
You know,
kinds.
I was-
Uphethe le
eh.
brand, le